So I see a question on the chat. Do we have a filter? And yes, we do. Let's see some of that in action. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to create two endpoints. One is the route users, and the other one is the route books, okay? And the exception message will be hi from books, and on top, the exception message will be hi from users, okay? So let's assume for a second that you want to filter your tailing experience by some content on the message, okay? So something you can do is obviously type Control-C to exit the Pail experience, and then I'm gonna clear my terminal. Finally, I'm gonna type PHP Artisan Pail, and I'm gonna filter this Pail experience by books, okay? So that being said, I'm gonna visit the users, and typically I expect to not see that line appearing on my terminal, and it's not appearing. However, if I visit books, I expect the books to appear on my terminal, which they are. So you can use this dash filter to pretty much filter for the stuff you want. And we have a bunch of filters, dude. That's something I'm also very excited about, is to see some of this usage in action by the community. So we have the filter option, we have a message option. So there is a difference between filter and message. Sometimes you want to filter only by the message, but sometimes you want to filter by like everything, including the trace, for example. So that's what the filter option is about. Filter like the entire thing. We can filter by the level of the logs, by the user that was kind of visiting the page, which is pretty cool. And about the level, there is something I would like to show you, is that sometimes you might want to see like other stuff, not only errors on the logs. So if I were to, for example, type PHP Artisan Pail, something I can do is just go to my /users page and log something to my logs. So hi from users, but not the error, just a regular info message to my logs experience, okay? So now if I go to my /users again, you will see that we get to see the info message coming hi from users, okay, which is pretty cool. So not only errors or exceptions or those kind of critical things appear on the logs. If you wish to simply write up some debug information to the terminal, you also get to see that stuff on the terminal, which I think is pretty cool. What do you guys think? So yeah, Axel says, so pretty, can we filter? Yeah, I just have showing you that. Jigal is also saying, how about filters? And yes, well, I just show you that as well. And we have Hamed saying, maybe enable an option to show stack errors. Well, we have that as well. Let me show you. So I'm going to actually make this terminal a little bit smaller, okay? So I'm going to type Control-C, I'm going to quit this, and I'm going to reduce this entire thing like this, okay? And then I'm going to revert this code to the previous exception, and I'm going to visit this with Laravel Pail installed, okay? So I'm going to run PHP Artisan Pail, and I'm going to visit this users page, and I'm going to make this even more smaller, okay? Because I wanted you guys to see that this stuff is fully responsive, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, when we are working with small terminals, we have Laravel Pail full responsive right there. So this will be truncated, so you don't get to see this stuff full disorganized, which is pretty cool. Now, sometimes you want to avoid truncation and you want to really see the entire thing, including the message, okay? Because this message obviously won't be hi from users on the real server, right? Will be something really big. And something annoying is that when you are tailing commands, especially with the tail command, is that it just displays the entire thing. So your console will not be pretty when that happens. And with Laravel Pail, you get to see the truncation happening and everything will be just pretty by default. Now, to answer the original question, which is maybe enable an option to show the stack errors, well, sometimes you don't want to see truncation, you want to see the full thing, including stack errors. So what you can do is just come to the terminal and type something like this: PHP artisan pail -- v, okay? And once you do this, you can type enter again, and now if I just refresh this page, you get to see the entire thing. So the content will not be truncated, the full message will appear, and also we have this exception trace appearing on the console, okay? What do you guys think? It's a good idea to hide this trace behind the -v option? I think it's better this way, because by default, I don't want to see the full trace. We're talking about 44 full stack traces, and typically I want to hide this stuff behind my -v flag. What do you guys think? Guys, I love coffee, you know. That's how much I like life, you know what I mean? Like, coffee is probably one of the top 3 experiences on my day, you know? Waking up, just have this huge cup of coffee in the morning, just feels so good. And what do you guys have for the morning, by the way? You guys have coffee? I know that Taylor have cola. You guys know the Coca-Cola thing? Taylor have cola in the morning. How crazy that is. Anyways, let's see what you guys saying on the chat. I think it's a good idea. However, maybe prompt the user somehow to use the -v option to see the full error. Well, you know what? I think that that's actually a good idea. Something we could do potentially is when we type PHP artisan tail, we could have somehow a gray text here saying that the user can use the -v option. So that's actually a good idea. Thank you for that suggestion. I'm going to notice that and probably have that done today. That reminds me, my coffee is probably ready. Yeah, you don't want that burnt coffee, so go get that coffee, dude. I agree, in most cases while developing, I'm not interested on full error stack trace. Exactly. For me, it's the same thing. I mean saying, for me, 4 cups of coffee at least in the morning. Dude, you don't want to overdrink coffee, okay? Coffee is good, like, I don't know, 1 cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, but 4 in the morning, that's just too much, dude. Be careful about that. I'm making my coffee to accompany you, by the way. Thank you so much, Morels. That's a good thing. Coffee or Pepsi, whatever I see first. You know what? I don't understand why people compare Pepsi or cola with just regular coffee. I understand that Pepsi and coffee have a little bit of caffeine, but for me, they are not just the same taste. You know what I mean?